Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So, Wilhelm, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go find Frederick during the break.
Okay, you find Frederick in his trailer, in his wagon, really.
Frederick,
He
do you
looks
remember
up
that?
with a start. Oh yes, Wilhelm.
What they're working on him doing?
He's got his head in his hands. He looks very despondent.
What seems to be the drama, Frederick?
The local lord here, Bernap Hunkelstein. He's just. I don't know if he's too happy about the circus being here. We should probably try and leave in the morning. I wouldn't want to step on his toes.
You know what I heard? This Lord Hunkelstein is on the hunt for some mermaid hide. But I'm not too sure he could tell the difference between mermaid and maybe some plain old snakeskin.
Frederick's eyes light up. That is an interesting idea.
Or just some fish. Could even chop a lady in half.
Frederick. Or Wilhelm, you beautiful man, you. How about this? Why don't we cut your act from the second part of the show, and you go off and see if you can't get some fish gloves made, and we'll just say they're mermaid.
But Clarence was all ready for his disappearing act. Don't you remember the other night? Wasn't that magnificent?
It was amazing. It was fantastic. I don't know if I'd call it magnificent, but yeah, sure, it's magnificent.
Have you ever seen a horse disappear or appear? Clarence is one of a kind.
Okay, but I hear that this Lord Bernap Hunkelstein guy he's kind of on the wealthy side. I think if we're talking about profits being made, I think your time is more economically spent in pursuit of fish mermaid gloves. Because the circus doesn't bring in that much money per show, and you're only a small part of the show. But you could just think about it. Still, if we should probably leave tomorrow morning, just in case. So you should probably get those gloves tonight if you can.
Very well. I will find these gloves for you. But Clarence gets to be the finale tomorrow night if I pull it off.
I think we're leaving.
The limelight.
Sure. We'll get you tomorrow night or the next night. Whichever one happens to come first. Whichever time we actually happen to do a show. We might not be here tomorrow night.
All right. Now to find a dead hooker. As I step out of his office.
Eyes goes wide for a moment. You step out of the office and into the clear night air or evening air.
I mount up Clarence.
Okay.
And it's evening already.
It's getting on there in that direction. It's pre-evening, if you must.
All right. I'm going to see if I can go a little way. It's hours up the coast. Find some real mermaids. I'll ride Clarence around town and see about just some fish gloves.
Okay. As you are riding Clarence around town, you are accosted by two soldiers. They're wearing chainmail, they have spears and metal caps, leather boots, and short swords at their sides. They block your path with cross spears and said, "Are you the wizard known as known as Wilhelm the Illusionist?"
Did you catch my act this afternoon?
Lord Hunkelstein would like to speak to you. You are to accompany us to his offices.
Very well. A private performance. Lead on, lead on.
They march you through the streets until you arrive at Lord Hunkelstein's office in town, because his chateau is outside of town. And so he has a little separate workstation here. You get brought in before him. And
How does that go? I mean, I've still got Clarence with me, so I'm trying to figure out.
they take you up to the front area. They offer to tie your horse up, stable it for the meantime, and then
Is Lord Hunkelstein in sight?
no, he's must be inside.
No, it's no trouble. I have my own stable. I dismount, and with a snap, I dispel Clarence.
He vanishes, and they look around a little bit nervous, and then look back at you, and carefully.
No need to fear. Only an illusion. And I follow them into the house.
They carefully lead you in. You notice behind you, one guy is like poking the air with the butt of his spear where Clarence was. And you get brought into a parlor, which has a nice roaring fire in the hearth. And you come up from behind, where you see a character silhouetted before you, sitting in a nice, comfy chair, holding a glass of reddish liquid, staring deeply into the flames.
I approach him from behind. What do you see in the flames?
Are you the one they call Wilhelm?
That's the name my mother gave me.
Wilhelm, Wilhelm, Wilhelm. What sort of man are you, Wilhelm? He still hasn't turned around to look at you.
A magnificent man?
I hope so. But what sort of man of character are you? Tell me, Wilhelm, if you were to catch another man sleeping with your wife, what would you do to him?
Well, I haven't a wife, so I'm going to have to use some abstract reasoning here. This is a hypothetical query, if you will.
Abstract away, my good man.
Well, for a man of noble birth, his reputation is everything. A slight such as this, you do not have the respect of your own woman. How can you choose to hope to have the respect of the people?
Respect of the people. He gets up, turns around, looks at you, sets his glass down, and says, "Do you see this?" Gesturing to the room. "Do you see these tapestries, these beautiful paintings? Do you see those gold cups over there? I'm not a man who needs the respect of the people. The people respect me as is. What I cannot have is thieving, conniving, wife-stealing people in my town."
I'm like, did I sleep with his wife? I'm nervous, although I'm not sure that I need to be. What does this man look like?
The one before you? Or are you asking him?
Yeah, I'm looking at, using my eyes, asking with my eyes.
He's wearing a green crushed velvet robe that has silver designs running through it. It seems to be his house embroidered on the back, and then just like fanciful designs going down and around on the sides. He wears, let's see, no armor underneath, but a silken shirt that is in gold and silver. And he's got a nice soft belt that looks like it might be otter's pelt or something, some sort of furred belt across his waist at his side.
Old, young?
He is middle-aged and in pretty good shape for middle-aged.
Tell me, my lord, what is it you can't have?
I can have anything I'd want. And what I would like for you to do would be to bring me the man known as Frederick. Frederick the Carney, Frederick the Imbecile, Frederick the Silk-Tongued Moron, who has gotten himself in more trouble than he knows. Now, I'm not a man to give you, to ask for favors, so I can pay you for this. Bring Frederick alive, conscious and uninjured to me here tonight, and you will be a wealthy man.
Whatever reward you're asking, I may need to ask for 30 gold more because that bastard Frederick has a debt to me as well. This shall be no trouble at all.
Excellent.
I give him a deep bow and turn around to go catch Frederick.
Okay. You walk on out of the room and are let back out to the outside. You hear the trumpets of the circus off to the side, letting you know that the second show has started.
All right. Certainly easier than chopping a hooker in half and pretending it's a mermaid. So I make my way back to the circus.
You were going to use human skin on the gloves and say it was a mermaid skin?
No, I was going to use fish skin, but I wanted evidence that it came from a mermaid, so I needed the half of the... Never mind. Don't worry about it. It probably wasn't a very good plan anyways.
Oh, my God. Okay.
All right. So I've only got about 10 feet of rope. Let's see about lassoing Mia Frederick. How is his quarters separated from the rest of the...
Frederick has his own little wagon that he uses for study and preparation. He also sleeps in there. But it's pretty much just a wagon. Like a cart. Like a crappy cart.
Windows?
The back door has a window.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of the cart from Stardust that what's-his-name's mom is living in.
Yeah. Okay. I'm guessing the other carnies will turn on me, and I don't want to have to fight carnies. Especially with 1 HP.
Especially knife-throwing carnies.
Hey, I can throw darts. I'm going to wait until the circus ends. So I'll stay on like the out... Is the circus outside of town?
Yeah, edge of town.
How is Frederick a handsome man?
Frederick is I wouldn't call him a stunning man, but I would say he is a good looker.
And apparently charming. I'm a little amazed that he was able to seduce this man's wife.
Yeah. He's like a 14 in the flesh.
That's my hotness. I rolled for hotness, didn't I? I had to.
Did you?
It's not on my character sheet, but I probably rolled for it. Let's go to the Marissa.
I seem to recall you putting it under additional notes.
Yeah, but it's not here.
Then you should re-roll.
4d10. No, I think maybe I can find it. Something I rolled a 3 for. I don't know what that is.
Your grub skill is a 3.
Oh, my grub. So it's probably just above that. Where was that grub skill? Grub skill is a 3. I think 10 was my hotness.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm hanging out on the outside of the circus, in the shadows.
Okay. The
Probably
rest of the show
just
goes
far enough
well.
away so that no one can see me and I can't really see anyone. So like off in the field, in some field out of the circus range.
The rest of the show goes fairly well. There's a fairly loud applause, bigger than the first act, the first show in the day.
Oh, that's because this is the prime time. It's
Yeah.
the evening.
It's the evening show. There is actually a much larger crowd here.
Just think how loud they'd be cheering if Clarence were there.
And the show eventually ends, and everyone shuffles out, and all the performers head back to their section. And a couple of guys left to break down the tents and everything. And Frederick sees you during this and hustles over to you, going,
Sees me. I thought I was hiding.
Oh,
no,
never mind. If you're hiding, he doesn't see you. I thought you were just like,
yeah. No, I'm like hiding in a field, like a couple hundred feet away from from the tents, sort of like off to the side, so that it's like not between the circus and town.
Okay.
Just crouching in a bush in the dark.
Okay.
Getting my lasso prepared.
You see Frederick exchange handshakes and laughter with a bunch of the other people a bunch of the other carnies, and then make his way to his little wagon.
How big is Frederick?
He's not an imposing man. He's like 5'6" and 135 pounds.
All right. I think I'm going to wait a couple of hours until I think everyone's asleep.
Okay. A couple hours pass. You watch people settle down to sleep for the night. You yourself get a little tired of squatting in the bushes, but you hold it long enough until it seems that everyone's gone to bed.
Yeah, maybe I doze off and wake back up in the middle of the night. And
yeah.
I creep over to Frederick's.
You make it right up to his little wagon.
All right. Can I climb in through the window? Like, what's the window? Is it a...
It's a small window. You could just as easily reach in and undo the lock from the other side, though. Because it's like I think of a half door. Like the bottom is a door, and the top is like a second door, but the top is opened as a window.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so there's no other window. There's just that.
Yeah, it's just the one window, which
okay.
you can see and you can reach in. It is latched, so it's open maybe 2 inches to let some air in, but still closed enough that you can't see in. If you had like a knife or a dagger, you could easily lift the latch.
Or a dart.
Or a dart.
Or a slender anorexic hand. I'll go with the dart.
Okay. You easily lift the latch, and the top section squeaks open.
All right. I really want to climb in through the top section, but I guess I'll just reach over and undo the latch on the door.
Okay. It is done.
And I will creep up into the little trailer.
Okay.
Are there horses in circuit, or like draft horses that they use to pull the carts around?
Yes, there are lots of horses. They are all tied up in one section, though. They're not actually attached to anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a makeshift stable, basically.
All right, so I've got 10 feet of rope ready with a lasso tied on one end, and I'm going to creep over towards Frederick's bed. I assume I don't see any lights or anything. I mean, it's dark.
Frederick is in his bed, snoring softly.
All right, I will stand over his sleeping body.
Mm-hmm.
Look down on him. See, I'm able to get right next to him. He doesn't wake up. Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and slide the lasso over the top of his head and get it to like the base of his neck. Maybe like one hand on each end of the lasso, pull it over, and then like tighten it and choke him out.
Give me a dexterity check.
Or dexterity check? I'll take dexterity check. 34.
Oh, yeah. You slip this under his head nice and slowly, nice and easily. He doesn't wake up until the noose tightens around, or the lasso tightens around his throat. He digs his hands underneath it, cries out, and give me an opposed.
Hopefully, he can't cry too loudly.
Give me an opposed strength check, but due to the nature of the lasso, I'm going to say it's much easier for you to hold it tight than it is for him to loosen it. So take a +5 on your strength check.
No.
Okay. What is his strength? Does he pass his check at all?
Because it's already tightened, so if he fails, I don't think I'm in.
Yeah, if he fails, it doesn't go anywhere, but he passes. So he gets his fingers in the thing and starts to pull it away and yells, "Help! Help! Murderers!" And at this point, we should roll initiative.
Yes, indeed. Is this where Wilhelm dies? I'm trying to think what weapon I could even use. So he's like tossed the rope from his head.
He has pulled it out away from his neck, and at the start of his next turn, he'll be taking it off his head.
Okay, so I get 4 initiative.
You go
Um,
first.
I was gonna just go for a punch in the face, but if I can, if the rope is still like near his neck, I'm gonna try and grab hold of the lasso and
You can oppose
try and like,
strength check it back onto him.
yeah, like try and get him
Okay.
restrained and hogtied or whatever. Do you want an attack roll first, or can I just go for the
No,
rope?
just do an opposed strength check. Although it's now
Yeah,
loosened up and far enough away that you no longer get your bonus.
yeah. Oh wait,
Um,
I've only got 8 strength. That's actually a 13, which is still a fail.
yeah,
So I
it
guess nothing
doesn't
happens
work.
regardless.
You try and pull the rope tight around him, but he wiggles his head out, lets go. The rope flies away. You stumble to the side of the cart. He goes for a dagger underneath his pillow
And this is where Wilhelm dies.
and rolls a natural 20 to hit. Wilhelm, I take it you have 10 AC?
11 AC,
Ooh, okay.
but that
So,
doesn't matter because I have 1 HP.
yeah. Well, you take 5 points of damage and slip into unconsciousness.
He sleeps with the dagger.
He sleeps the dagger under. Well, if you were sleeping with
Yeah,
the local lord's wife.
yeah. I take it I bleed out right there on the floor.
Yeah, he does not try and resurrect you or anything like that. Uh, he
Well,
stabs you a few more times, takes off with everyone in the night, and Wilhelm is over.
good game.
Shortest character you've ever played, I think.
Shortest, yeah. Shortest character I played.
Yep.
Still got nothing on your 1 hour characters. We probably got time to roll a character before we take a break.
We do. Although I think for VOD purposes, it will be better to have the character on the other side of a break.
Yeah. Do you need to run?
No. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip to the break screen, then run the intro again, just so that when we're doing VODs, there's a nice clean break. So don't go anywhere. The splash screen is a lie. See you guys in just a minute.